I mean, that could have been so much worse.
Yes, and undoubtedly we've got to do a very deep analysis of all the events that occurred, because there are a number of things that shouldn't have happened. The fire was worrying, the split of the barrier was worrying. I think the positives are the safety of the car, and that's what got us through today.
Yeah, going back to the barrier there, I mean, Sebastian, you just missed what he was saying there. I mean, obviously, it shouldn't fail like that, but in the end, the fact that the halo was there and he was able to go through it perhaps stopped an even greater impact, sudden impact.
Yeah, there's no doubt, because barrier splitting was a classic problem many years ago, and normally it resulted in a fatality. And there's absolutely no doubt the halo was the factor that saved the day and saved Romain. And I think all the team behind it just need crediting for forcing it through. If you recall, there was quite a lot of controversy at the time about introducing it, and I don't think anyone now, especially after today, can doubt the validity of that and the value of it. So hats off to everyone involved, because it was a lifesaver today.
Yeah, Ross, I mean, absolutely, I'd agree with you. I think many of us old fart drivers perhaps thought the halo was a little bit going too far on the safety front. It looked pretty ugly, but I'll tell you what, that's a lot prettier seeing a guy getting out after an accident like that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So what will be the process that you go through now? You've got the car, you analyse the car, you analyse the data, and then you take steps to try and see whether... there comes a point where it's physically impossible to survive a big shunt, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was quite a high G load as well, which we've got to look at how everything failed, because everything's designed to fail in the progression. But a crash that catastrophic, obviously things failed in an unpredicted way. Obviously the car came apart. We had a fuel fire, which is something which we haven't had for a very long time. The fuel cells are incredibly strong. I suspect that came from a ruptured connection.
Do you think, was that a ruptured connection? Is that the information that you're hearing on that, Russ? Because there's a lot of speculation about the fuel collector, whether it actually was a puncture of the fuel cell.
I honestly don't know. I think we need to look at it. But surprisingly, it looked a big fire. But those cars are carrying 100 kilos of fuel at that stage. I think if 100 kilos had gone up, we would have had a massive fire. Yeah. So for me, that was a fire of a few kilos of fuel, not 100 kilos.
Thank you, Ross. Sorry, I don't want to carry on. Just in regards to going for next week, there will be a review. Everyone's going to have to go around and look at all the safety barriers around here at Sakhir.
Yeah, it's a barrier which would be very unusual to hit in the way that Romain hit that barrier. For sure there'll be some very careful scrutiny between now and the next race. Any information we can gather between now and the next race, we will do so. And I'm sure any action will be taken that needs to be done. But it's something we haven't seen for a very long time, and I think the safety standards at the circuits are exceptional. But today we saw something we didn't predict.